Hello and welcome to our informative fault finding for 12 fifth wheel caravans. I'm in this front locker near the battery box. What I'm going to do is step you through how to work a 12 volt test meter or a 12 volt globe. We're going to look for a fault in the 12 volt system. The complaint might be the slide outs don't, the legs won't go up and down. So you've probably blown a fuse or a thermal circuit breaker won't reset. I'll talk you through the system from the battery. The battery's underneath this black box in most fifth wheelers. We move that away. It's generally screwed down. In here we have a negative which is attached to the chassis or the frame of the caravan, and we have a positive terminal. The positive will then go to thermal circuit breakers. These thermal circuit breakers are heavier items in the van like the front legs or the slide outs. The wire will go directly to one of the posts, a little thread with a 1/4 inch nut on it. Then it'll loop to another one and so on depending how many thermal overloads you have. They could be rated at around 30 amps. What we can do, we can use a test globe like I've got here. Stick it on the battery and it should light up, and it did just before. It always happens when we're filming. There it is, it's lit up. That's proving that my globe works. Then if I was to put it on an earth somewhere and then test again, I can then follow the 12 volt through the system. I could also use a 12 volt multimeter. This is a 12 volt DC, positive and negative probe. I put the negative on the frame or the battery and then positive on there, and I get 12 volts on the meter. I can then go to where I can see the 12 volts goes. This post 12 volts, this post 12 volts, and then I test through the thermal circuit breaker to the other post. It should have 12 volts. If it hasn't, there lies our problem. These things have a thermal side. When excessive current's drawn, it drops out. When it cools down, it joins back together. The other items in this front compartment are the hydraulic slide out tank reservoir, the motor and the relay. The switch inside that your thumb operates triggers this relay to work heavy current draw. Also we've got this electric motor here that drives the front legs up and down. So power will be supplied to the up down switch and then either forward or reverse this 12 volt motor. If I was to join power directly onto these two wires, the motor would go up and down. So that's another way you can get out of a jam if you can't sort the problem out. A set of jumper leads onto the battery and straight up onto these two. The front will go down, and if you want it to go the other way, you then swap your two wires. That's called reversing the polarity, and the motor will drive the other way. Fifth wheeler, and look at where one of these other heavy wires goes to. It'll be going into the main switchboard where all your little fuses are that control the smaller things in the van, like the lighting and the radio and the fans. See you inside. There you go. Here we are inside a fifth wheel. This is the 12 volt DC switchboard and the 240 volt switchboard. Inside is a row of fuses. They could be 10 amp, they could be 20 amp. There could be two large ones generally at the bottom, and they will run the slide outs if your trailer has electric slide outs. There's a red LED, and quite often if a fuse is blown, the LED will light up and then you'll know exactly which one it is. So if it was this light here, I'd pull this fuse here out and I would look at it up to the light and I'd see that the fuse was blown. Always a good way to check. You can then use a test meter on the ohms scale. So you'd put it on ohms, touch your wires together, your probes together. I have a reading of 0 ohms. Then I would put it on to the fuse. If I get 0 ohms, it's a connection, so that fuse would be okay. Doesn't matter which way it goes, pop it in there. There's a range of fuses here. It could be radio, kitchen lights, bathroom lights, exhaust fans, underfloor central heater if it's got one, generally tied in with the air conditioner, or the water pump. Fairly self-explanatory, written down the side here. 2 40-volt circuit breakers, all double pole. There'll be air conditioner, power points. This one's a safety switch. You press the button and it turns off automatically. Thank you.